I'm here with Lenore, founder of LeRu Film International. My mission for LeRu as LeRu's music executive director and creative partner is to continue to team up with LeRu with the purpose of inspiring and motivating others. I am glad that my music and my voice contribute to the overall success of LeRu. But I believe that connecting with LeRu has a purpose. First of all, what is your definition of success?
Thank you, Mike, for all your support. My definition of success is feeling the true happiness within.
What was the very first experience that you had with human kindness?
When I voluntarily gave my first mini store business to a girl, our distant relative.
What was the process?
I grew up with nuns when I was young. I learned how to be self-sufficient, independent, compassionate, passionate, and resourceful. As an intern student, we were given 1 month vacation to spend time with parents and family. During that time, I would always be at my father's bakery while my mother goes to work, which taught me how to have a small business. So, I set up my very first mini store in front of my father's bakery with one small table and chair. My mini store was made of woods in rectangular shapes, faced each other, and looks like an attaché. I sold house candies, cigarettes, and chewing gums to the military students after their drill. My memories about how I financed my first business makes me laugh out loud. I would pick metals from the ground and collect and sell them to Chinese businessmen few streets from our place. The metals are weighed and they pay me in pesos, depending on their weight. Ha! I also used that technique if I wanted to go swimming. That would pay for my entrance fee as well as my bicycle rentals. At least I did not borrow nor ask my parents to finance my first business.
That was when you were in the Philippines, your birthplace.
Yes, Mike, I did not consider our family poor nor rich. We lived in a house and lot. My parents were both working, older siblings worked for good companies. Picking metals was just the best way for me to make money while on 1 month vacation. I enjoyed it and I thought it was productive.
What happened after a 1 month vacation when you had to go back to school as an intern?
I decided to give my mini store business to the daughter of a distant relative whose family was allowed to live in my father's bakery.
What was your next business?
I was already an extern student of the same school. I would take public transportation round trip to and from school. I thought of selling ice candy with different flavors, orange, chocolate, and coconut, when my oldest sibling bought our family a refrigerator. I sold them to the Vietnamese refugees who lived across our house. One girl was welcome to our house to watch TV and play with us. Another opportunity for me to make money was when our neighbor would pass by our house on her way to work. I would trim her hair and she would give me a tip after. Ha! I thought that was a fun experience about home economics.
Then you left the Philippines and came to America in 1982. What was your transition like?
The first business that I had in America was water filtration business. On my first year, with an initial investment of $5,000. I remember taking my first child with me to attend a junior Chamber of Commerce meetings, and there I met young leaders and business owners. I was very observant and felt good about finding a group that I could learn valuable lessons, especially during that time I was experiencing culture shocks.
What happened next?
I started learning the importance of having a business. I learned about taxes and allowable tax deductions, which is beneficial to the business owners. I also learned about networking, real estate investments, and healthcare industry. I worked in the healthcare industry for years, which gave me a clear understanding about the stages of life of the older communities. I also experienced managing a home of the developmentally disabled adults.
What was your next business after that?
After gaining experiences with the communities, my ex-husband and I went into a real estate and healthcare business when our three children were growing up. I saw an ad that reads $350,000 for six-bedroom home with $10,000 a month income. We inquired, evaluated, and decided to make an offer. I had to go through the process of submitting my application to the state of California to run the business, which took me 7 months before I got approved to run the facility. Finally, I became the licensee administrator of our six-bedroom facility of our own property. During that time, I also decided to diversify. I took a seminar learning how to manage a facility for the developmentally disabled adults. A certificate was awarded to me on Tuesday, September 11, in 2001 during the 9/11 attack, which became an unforgettable experience for me. I continued to manage my elderly facility until we decided to sell it.
When did you decide to revisit your passion for art?
I decided to go back to my passion in arts in 2014. That was a time when my mother was diagnosed with mild Alzheimer. I went back to school and studied arts in animation for 2 years and movie production television course, on-site and online. Work part-time and at the same time take care of my mother.
What happened next?
We moved to Las Vegas in late 2018 and focused on arts. Established LeRu Film International in June 2020.
Now, we met in June of 2020.
The Chapter 1 of LeRu, friends and family participated on music montage projects, which went on until June 15, 2022.
I'm proud and honored to be part of LeRu's exponential growth. Can you please tell us more about Chapter 2?
Chapter 2 consists of arts, music, science, and storytelling. More about inspirational and motivational projects for families and business. The latest project, Austin celebrates his 5th birthday in the universe, is about the video promoting life learning lessons about love, peace, and happiness within ourselves and the universe, about how kids are taught how to overcome rejections, and more.
You decided to showcase some of your visual art and share the scientific explanation on how visual art affects our minds and body. It's really amazing that painting was also one of my interests next to music composing. I am sure some artists have encountered the same situation. When you told me that you painted, I also mentioned to you that I also have done acrylic paintings for relaxation and for hobby. I'm grateful for LeRu for showcasing some of my paintings that were never really seen before until now. Visual arts and music are forms of art I've always been interested in, painting as a hobby and composing music as a business. Lenore, please tell us more of your visual art experiences. and your thoughts on the two sides of the brain. What are your thoughts about Roger W. Sperry?
Well, I'm not a scientist, but I'm very interested to learn about what triggers us to love arts. Mike, as per my research, Roger W. Sperry was a psychologist who came up with a theory in 1960 that the left side of the brain controls the movement of the right side of the body. Left brain is for logic, realistic, in control, linear, analytical, scientific, accurate, practical mathematics, categorized, strategic, and the right side of the brain is for free spirit, feelings, senses, art, creativity, poetry, yearning, sensuality, passion, imagination, vivid. I must say both of my brains are active, except for numbers. Ha! But when it comes to debit, credit, inflow, outflow, I'm very aware. Mike, you mentioned you like to paint land and seascapes with Italian themes. Can you please share your thoughts about it?
What interested me in acrylic paint was I started young. It was much more inexpensive than the oil paints, but I could work with them like oil paints or like water paints. So it was the best of both worlds. And I actually learned painting from watching old reruns of The Joy of Painting from Bob Ross. And I thought, well, maybe I could do that. And so I tried it, and it seemed to work. And, I kind of developed my own style after that. And it took off. And though I don't paint as much as I'd like to, it's probably one of the most relaxing things that I've done. And I hope that I can do more of it in the future. I am glad, Lenore. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to team up with LeRu. It is really nice that we, as creative partners, work in harmony together. My purpose as a musician is to make a difference to others. I see that my mission is being accomplished. I'm hoping that LeRu will flourish even more so we both touch and inspire other artists. And it would be nice to work with other artists as well. LeRu, I feel, is going in the right direction. Together, we will empower each other as artists and creative partners. The best way to continue to focus on our ultimate goal is by combining our artistic talents and share the energy that we receive from each other, from the sun, universe, and from the earth. I hope that we can touch everybody's heart as we share the inspirations that bounce back to us during the process of making our masterpieces.